This is left side of the brain.
No, it's not. That's a chin. It's not even the left side. It's a whole goddamn chin. I'm feeling I might have to sue for false advertisement and emotional distress. And we're only just started. This is gonna be good.
Coming at you once again with another enlightening video.
Well now, you know something is enlightening when they flat out tell you it's enlightening. It's like when someone states an opinion or just plain wrong piece of information and then ends it with fact in all caps and underlined a couple of times. That's just irrefutable at that point. Funnily enough, I also happen to have the world's best smarting brain and I has the biggest penna TM. Hashtag fact.
Do us a favor, hit the likes button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get right into it.
No, 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 and oh yes, I cannot wait. What have you got for me today, whole side of the chin?
I promise you all another video today, and here it is.
The end. 1+ enlightenment gained. Level up.
What I want to talk about, man. You see, nature is where everything is at.
I mean, yes, one definition of nature is basically literally everything, and everything certainly would be where it is at, whatever it is, but I'm sure you mean that in a more nature is just the best thing ever kind of way. Again, true, so we can open with an agreement. Yay! Try not to screw it up.
Nature is a lesson within itself.
And what do? You go and screw it up. Nature is a lesson within itself. Am I going to have to call the sophistry police to come and lock you up on meaningless gibberish island?
And what I want to tell you is, there is a natural lesson within nature and everything. All right? Now, I was thinking about this.
Alright, that is just too goddamn distracting. I don't know if it's a mistake or if you genuinely thought that that was a good idea, but I can't just sit here staring at your mouth chin all day. There! Much less distracting. I think you will all agree.
You see yourself in nature, but more importantly, you see yourself in water.
Yes, because water is reflective, and water is reflective because it's relatively flat. Flat earthers. Relatively flat does not mean completely flat. You go sit in the corner. This video is not about you. I don't think. At least, I really hope not. You can never be too sure these days. But anyway, yes, it's reflective. Doesn't mean that it's magic, or that it can store your essence, or some such nonsense. It's just very, very shiny.
Now, when you look at yourself in a lake, your reflection in that lake, that's telling you everything about how people operate.
Unless that lake is giving everyone a CT scan, running a series of tests and experiments and collecting data over time, I'm going to have to say, doubt.
Because the water is moving and your reflection is moving. It's not still. You see? So water, it describes people.
Ugh, sophistry. People are like glasses. The only ones I'm interested in are filled with whiskey. See, we could all do it, but at least mine is actually accurate.
We are constantly up and down.
I don't know, man. You're talking about moving a lot, and I do try to remain as motionless as possible to preserve my Adonis-like physique. What do you mean I'm a lazy fat bastard?
Just like when you look at yourself in a lake.
You just want to throw yourself in and sink into the gentle embrace of oblivion to stop the woo-woo man saying the dumbs at you. No, just me? Okay.
Your reflection moving upon the waves and the ripples in the water represents the emotions that a person has.
No, it really doesn't. Using your metaphor, I know a bunch of people who hardly change at all. They are less ripples in water and more imprints in cement. Some people are just more stable than others. Don't get me wrong, they surely have their moments of heightened and lowered tempers. But in general, nothing really phases them. So even if I accept your wishy-washy woo-wah way, hey, people are water nonsense, it still doesn't make any sense.
Everything is in nature. You see, the law of exceedings states that
The only laws of exceeding that I can find anywhere are to do with breaking the speed limit. So I'm going to assume that's what you're talking about.
nothing in the spirit realm or the spiritual world exceeds beyond
85 miles per hour, yeah? Because that's basically the top speed limit in the US. That's still some pretty speedy ghosties though.
the living examples within nature. You can see it in nature.
By God, the man's right. Here we see an speed limit in its natural habitat.
How you behave physically, it's in nature. It's in other animals.
Animals have behaviours that can be similar to humans. No flipping way. Humans are never territorial or form packs or a multitude of other things that we did as a species for tens of thousands of years before the relative short amount of time we have spent forming civilizations. It would be silly to think that we might retain these deep-seated behaviours even today because something water.
You see? And water is the greatest example, man.
Water is the greatest example of animal behaviour. What exactly kind of creature is water? Will it hurt me? I'm scared. It has a direct access into my house. Quickly, someone kill the taps!
Water reflects everything that we are. It's the true way to observe oneself.
Alright, fine. Let's go look in some water and find out who the true Sir Sick really is. Okay, I'm actually starting to think he might be onto something.
The true way to look at yourself is in water. I think it was Bruce Lee who said, "Be water, my friend."
Oh God, I had a funny feeling you would bring that up. I hoped against hope you wouldn't. But please, oh God, don't butcher the clip. It's a classic. Bruce Lee was the mother flipping man. And if you misquote him, I am going to go and do a big sad.
I think Bruce Lee said that. He said, "Be water, my friend," because it's truly the best way to observe yourself.
I knew it. That was just disgusting. And let's get this straight. I'm not the biggest fan of philosophy in the world. I mean, it has its place, it has its uses, but isn't something I spend a huge amount of time pondering, between being handsome and doing amazing sexing. But even I quite like Bruce Lee's water bit. And there's no way he was saying anything even remotely akin to the dribble that you are. This is what he said.
Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Now, I don't know about you, but that didn't sound anything like what you said. To me, that was about being what you need to be, going with the flow, etc. Very Buddhist-like philosophy, and not a damn thing about reflections. I'm sure it also flowed, get it, into his martial arts. Do not talk about my man again, or we will have trouble. You dig?
You know, water doesn't lie. Water doesn't lie.
Doesn't talk either. Thank Christ. Especially with that not lying thing. You do not want to know some of the terrible, terrible things I've done in the bath. I don't want to freak anybody out, but I've actually been naked in there. Shameful.
It takes the shape of any container that it's in, and it doesn't lie.
It takes the shape of any container that it's in because it's a fug-guggling liquid. Any liquid will do that. Does that mean honey doesn't lie? Or lava? Or, and sorry for being gross, but the liquid effluence after a night of drinking and a spicy curry, does that not lie? I mean, I guess it will tell you what you've been up to, but not a lot else.
It's pure.
Almost as pure as the BS coming from this here vidya.
When it's hot, it's hot. When it's cold, it's cold. When it's lukewarm, it's lukewarm.
I'm sorry, but is that actually supposed to mean something? Are there substances that, when they are hot, that they're actually cold? Is that a thing? I mean, I know some liquids will boil below the freezing point of water and all that jazz, but that doesn't make them cold and hot.
That's the nature of water. It doesn't lie.
And you don't say anything that could be said once less than 87 times.
It's life. It's necessary. You need it.
I don't. In fact, I don't need any but one liquid within me. I'm currently working on a special device that removes all that useless blood from my system and replaces it with pure whiskey.
It tells you everything about the nature of everything around you. When it's cold, it tells you it's cold. It freezes. It acts like the environment.
At freezing temperature, it freezes. And a lot of other stuff does too, because that contains water as well. It's not mystical. H2O is just an incredibly common compound.
Water conforms to the world around it. It conforms.
Really, it's more like a lot of the world water is around has a lot of water in it. Anyway, have you got anything actually meaningful to say?
But
No need to be immature. Oh wait, you mean like however. I forget, not everyone is as much of a child as I am.
guess what?
Is it something as stupid as the last few minutes? Probably.
Water remains the same. It doesn't change. You can't change the molecular formula for water. You can't change it.
So either A, and this is if he's brain dead, you literally can't change water into a different compound, but I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say the more staggering conclusion of this brilliant fellow is B, that if you change the compound that makes up water into a different compound by, say, removing the oxygen atom, turning it into hydrogen, that it is no longer water. Bravo, good sir. It is a fact that things that are not water are in fact not water, and water is, as a matter of said fact, not the things it isn't. Honestly, after all the fun I've made of you in this video, I take it all back and suggest that we get this man a Nobel Prize stat. And probably some floaties so he doesn't drown the next time he tries to hug his reflection in a lake. Do you find yourself wondering, how can me show humans I am the smart? Is am the way to thinking being a purchase? Well, to answer your incredibly poorly worded questions, yes, I think. Honestly, I have no idea what you want, but I'll be damned if I don't take this as an opportunity to sell you things. Like new improved Sick brand merch, now featuring the designer of almost all Sick brand merch, right, the name's on the tip of my tongue. I want to say Cheryl Pringle? No, wait, it's Mrs. Sick. That's right. I always forget she exists. Also, handsome, famous, and good at the sex tease. Ampersand, not forgetting this pretty badass comic book style one that I would buy myself if I wasn't so poor. Sick brand merch, because we're tired of eating stray cats. Oh, there's one now. Get it!